All right, everyone, we should be live. Let's make sure that's actually the case over on Rumble, of course. I do see the chat is working, although it seems to have spent longer processing this time. This happened the other day. I don't know exactly what's wrong with the processing on the site. I'm not 100% sure. But there are viewers waiting and chat is moving. Long Dong John. It's not a day that ends in Y if Harris isn't getting pounded. Yeah, Harris is getting absolutely, completely destroyed right now because of her Arlington Cemetery comments. Unfortunately for her, the Gold Star families generally weighed in on her commentary, and they're not very happy with the Biden administration. So we'll be talking about that. We've got Tim Walz's brother coming out. This was a scoop from Laura Loomer, actually, saying that Tim Walz is not the sort of person that you want in the driver's seat, so to speak, as VP. I mean, I agree with it. It's kind of self-evident that you wouldn't want Tim Walz in a leadership role. I mean, just listen to how he talks, you know, the things that he says. We'll be talking about the presidential debate. Again, we're not even 100% sure that it's going to happen. The Kamala Harris campaign keeps trying to stall and put it off and not have the debate, while blaming the Trump campaign for trying to punt, even though they themselves are the ones doing the punting. There's a reason for that. It's called projection. That's a psychological sort of thing. Vox coming out actually against Kamala Harris's housing plan. Now, Vox is a far left rag. Generally speaking, they would be aboard with such a thing. They're not. Even Vox is panning her on her housing plan, and I found that hilarious. Trump has taken the lead in polling. I know in the aggregate he's still down a little bit, but we'll be looking at some of the state-to-state polling as well as general polling, of course, on RCP. I'm sure that we'll probably recap that later when I go on the quartering broadcast. Again, 1 p.m. I am the co-host for the quartering. I'll grab his link and I'll try to share it out as well once he gets it to me. And, of course, breaking, Vice President Kamala Harris is receiving backlash from the Black Americans for claiming she washed collard greens in a bathtub with Tabasco sauce. This is literally her hot sauce in a handbag moment. This never happened. To be clear, she's just trying to connect with people, but she's not really easily connected with people because she's such a derp. And so she's saying basically it's the hot sauce in a handbag sort of thing. Well, I identify with you. I too, my fellow American, I too love hot sauce. Well, I mean, no, I don't think that you actually washed collard greens off in a bathtub with Tabasco sauce. I don't think this actually happened. I think that this is a mythology. Just saying. I'm going to read the post verbatim. Barra, can Trump win without Pennsylvania? He can, but it would be harder. But I think that he'll win Pennsylvania, so I don't think that there's any problem there. Mulgara, I'm not going to be able to watch live, but I'm going to send the signed Ron Paul book your way tomorrow. I thank you very much for that, by the way. That's really, really cool. Yeah, he's sending me a signed copy of one of Ron Paul's books. He managed to get a couple of them. Minor Zircon, finally, I caught you live. Sticks rules. Yeah, I think so. That's for sure. I may be a little bit on the biased side, but, you know. Let's get to the news stories today. Tim Walz. His brother has come out now and is saying that Tim Walz, you shouldn't vote for the ticket. He's effectively endorsed Donald Trump, actually. According to these FEC records, Jeff Walz, the brother of VP candidate Tim Walz, donated to President Trump's presidential campaign in 2016. Jeff Walz lives in Florida. Perhaps I will go interview and ask him about his support for Donald Trump. Hashtag MAGA. CC at Team Trump. That's Laura Loomer, of course. I know that some people have a problem with Laura Loomer. I never understood why they would, though. She's doing a good job. You know, she does actual journalism. She chained herself to Twitter HQ back in the old days before Elon Musk took over. If she did that now, then Elon Musk himself would probably come out and say, ha ha ha, that's pretty cool. Back in the Agrawal days, of course. And it was a big problem. I think she got arrested, actually, as a result of that. Governor Tim Walz, and Kamala Harris are such a bad presidential ticket that Walz's own brother is supporting Donald Trump instead. This does not surprise me in the least. Imagine you have like a relative, and they're the black sheep of the family, and they're corrupt and fucked up and everything else under the sun. Wouldn't you want to use the fact that you're connected with them to try to warn the public, hey, this person is completely toxic? I know that I would. If I had a relative that was like genuinely like, you're basically psycho or something like that, and they were running for office. By the way, my dad is mowing out front, so you're going to hear that. My apologies. And I would warn the public. I would say, look, love my relative. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I've got their back, but at the same time, you've got to be aware of what they actually stand for. Thank you, Father. That is really cool. I would try to warn people if that happened. My apologies. Anthony Rodriguez. Kamala shot herself in the foot with that dumb Arlington Cemetery tweet. Gold Star families are scorching her. Viva Sticks. Yeah, they're absolutely crucifying her. I mean, it's a political crucifixion. We'll be certainly talking about that. Mikuhuntu, do you believe in Joe Hendry sticks? I don't know what that is, actually. Mr. Repurpose, today I need to fix a hole in the roof. Dreading going up there. Wish me luck. Fix that fucking hole. Listen to that Beatles song about fixing a hole while you do so. Yeah, Tim Walz is apparently he's getting fucked up, but Kamala's getting fucked up 10 times worse. Oh my God, wait till this news. Here's what Kamala Harris said, and she shouldn't have said it. As vice president, I have had the privilege of visiting Arlington National Cemetery several times. It is a solemn place, a place where we come together to honor... I'll just wait. To honor American heroes who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service of this nation. In other words, they got fucking glassed. It is not a place for politics, unless, of course, it's the Biden-Harris administration, then it's perfectly fine. And yet, as we reported this week, Donald Trump's team chose to film a video there, resulting in an altercation with cemetery staff. Let me be clear, the former president disrespected sacred ground, all for the sake of the political stunt. Fuck you, you goddamn retarded cunt. Gold Star families invited Donald Trump to lay a wreath at Arlington Cemetery. They've all come out now and called you out in the process and said, look, the Biden-Harris administration, God, they never even gave us a phone call. Donald Trump was actually there for us. He appeared to actually give a shit. This does not surprise me. I get a feeling that Donald Trump does actually care, which is probably why he's willing to go through so much persecution in order to try to seek office. He has wrecked hundreds of millions of dollars. He has given up a chunk of his brand. He has hazarded his family. And he's done this because he genuinely cares. What have you done for us lately, Kamala? What have you done at all? This is nothing new from Donald Trump. This is a man who has called our fallen service members suckers, which never happened, and losers, and disparaged Medal of Honor recipients. A man who, during a previous visit to the cemetery, reportedly said of fallen service members, I don't get it. What was in it for them? Well, yeah, what was in it for them? I would ask the same question. They died in vain. There are Democrats who have literally stated that when running for office. You're a retard, a bitch. And that's just what Kamala is. Patrick Foley, I want to take you to a gay bar. Gay bar, yow. I know that song. Gay bar is a fun song. Mad Relic, CNN brainwashing is insidious. My mom was against Kamala in 2020 because of her AG policies, only to fully buy into CNN's propaganda because Orange Man. Yeah, many such cases. It does happen. Let's see. Scott Steiner. Trump's post on Kamala not working at MC Donald's. Oh, yeah, McDonald's is some good stuff. Trump, unironically, is an expert at that place. His go-to meal consists of a Big Mac, 2 fish fillets, large fries, and a Diet Coke. Yum. Yeah, I've got Burger King coming on tap later, actually. I'm not a huge fan of McDonald's. My mom actually works there. Aquafan, legalize all drug use on private property. Make their use illegal on public property with 100 feet of a minor. Then do the same with cigarettes. This grants freedom and takes care of secondhand smoke. Yeah, that would work. Easter Sunday. Laura Loomer is bangable in that you shouldn't stick your dick in crazy sort of way. I don't think she's crazy at all, actually. She seems extremely intelligent. Mulgera, would you like me to send the book to the same place I sent the other books I've sent you? Yeah, that would work. Yeah, at the same address. Soy-free Warhammer. Good morning, friendly neighborhood news hippie. And good morning to you as well. Let's get to our sponsors, shall we? First and foremost, we are sponsored by Goldco. Hashtag Goldco. I am a partner of the company. I've got something to show you, and you're going to like it. That's some nice stack of silver. And I'm probably going to be getting more of it as well. Yeah, I think this is, what was it, 15 ounces or something like that? Got it from Goldco. Goldco, Sticks Likes Metals, by the way, .com. Link in the description. You can get a free investing kit. Now, you might be interested in investing in silver in the abstract sense, or you might just want to get physical silver. They also sell gold. You can do whichever you want. The economy right now, unfortunately, is a little bit shaky because we're not exactly sure who's going to be running the country in a few months. And so I've partnered with Goldco in part to inform people about gold and silver investment. They can get you your free investing kit again, stickslikesmetals.com, and I strongly encourage you to do so. I like silver. I'm a silver man, as you know, and I'm very, very glad to partner with them. They're rated A+, by the way, by the Better Business Bureau, so this is not a sham company. It's not a pile of bullshit, which is, you know, I wouldn't front any bullshit to my fans, and you can get silver like this, and they look beautiful. Hear that? Delicious. But I'm glad to work with them because they've been very, very helpful as well. You got to understand, I've lived on 2 continents for an extended period of time, and I'm not very literate with regards to phones and things like that. They got me set up, and so I partnered with them, and I'm very, very proud to do so. So again, you can go to Goldco, stickslikesmetals.com, and I do like metals. I have got a whole pile of it. And this is just part of the collection. Probably going to be buying a little bit more from them in the near future because silver is fucking great. We've also got cultivated-mind.com, where you can get mushroom pills. Radiant Energy. I'm almost out of these guys. Yeah, I've only got about a dozen of them left, but I've got plenty of the other ones, so, you know, I'll be taking those. You can get mushroom pills. They boost ATP production, actually, within your cells. And so it gives you a boost of energy. It really does work. I use that every single morning. We've got pumpkinfirecrafts.us, where you can get bookmarks, keychains, belt chains, engraved spoons, glassware, and much more. We've got BiltongUSA.com. Also use code STICKS on all of these sites for a discount, generally speaking. BiltongUSA.com or AntonsUSA.com. You can get Anton's sweet meat in your mouth. Yeah, let it melt in there. Suck down his sweet meat. Also, Stick, Sex, and Hammer mugs, tumblers, and shirts available as well. Wicked Needle Embroidery. .bigcartel.com. I'm fucking gangsta now, dude. Yeah. I'm a dab on them. Yeah, you can get hats like this. Several varieties are available. I'm just fooling around. I'm having a good time. What's the use of being a content creator unless you can be goofy sometimes? We've got heritageheirloomseedcompany.com where you can get a seed survival bucket. There's also Sticks, Hex, and Hammer soap available like this. This is cedar, clove, and blueberry, and it smells delicious. There's also a new blend that will be available fairly soon, but that's it's still forthcoming. So I won't announce that until I get the go-ahead to say it's available. We have websterswares.com/sticks-wares, where you can get the metal straws, so you can save a sea turtle. You can get knives. They are extremely sharp. Be very careful with them. I learned that the hard way. You get jackets and all sorts of other things, flags. Also, they've got a bunch of Trump paraphernalia available as well. And finally, jamandbean.com. That is JAMNbean.com, the land of Sticks, Hex, and Hammer coffee. Right now, Costa Rica blend is the way to go. But there is a proprietary blend that's going to be literally like Clank related that is forthcoming, and it is utterly delicious. It did not last long, let's put it that way. All the blends that they've made and that I've tried, all of them are delicious. But those two stand out. Costa Rica blend, 10 out of 10. Blend number 2, the name forthcoming, that's a 10 out of 10 as well. I want to take you to a gay bar. The Sumerian, Sticks, Elvis Lives, and Fuck Kamala. Bocephus, invest in silver and biltong. And in brass, potentially, brass and lead. Tigers are my totem. Get the ham slice MRE from the 1980s. We used to gamble with it in the field, trade it, fight over it. It had the Mist Tasty mint cake. Interesting. Ham slice MRE from the 80s. If somebody can find me one, you can DM me on Twitter. I'd be willing to pay for it. Spike. I think Trump should allow unmuted mics. If Kamala does the I'm speaking thing, he can burn her with the Gold Star and Angel families, so we'll be muted. That's a bad idea, in my opinion. Lol, not a cat. Your sound is a bit fucked up. Is there an AC or lawnmower in the background? Yes, my dad was mowing the front lawn, unfortunately. And Mulgara, perfect, will do. I'll send it tomorrow. Now I got to head out. We're celebrating my younger brother's 21st birthday today. Have a good birthday celebration. And last beacon. Hey, Sticks. Hello. I'm here. Webster's Wares. Good morning, Clankers. Free shipping using code STICKS at websterswares.com. Free shipping on orders over $40 and a new Labor Day code of Clank Labor for 25% off statewide, site-wide. Today only. Clank. Yeah, CK, no, I don't make him mow the lawn. He enjoys it. He puts on his straw hat and he goes out on the rider and, he mows the lawn. He has fun doing it. Last beacon. It is a bad idea. I would rather have a much more linear speaking Trump. Exactly. Trump, when he has the muted mic thing going on, is far more effective. And that's exactly why they're trying to change the debate rules. Basically, what they're trying to do is either force him into having the unmuted mic, which they know would be beneficial for Kamala, because she can do the I'm speaking sassy-headed bullshit thing, or to not have a debate at all. They're trying to bounce the debate. It's extremely clear what they're doing. Redane, Sticks, what is your opinion on humoral theory? I do not believe in the humors, no. Elements, I live in New Hampshire. Hope weed is never legalized here. The states promoting it have zero interest in personal freedom or liberty. It's Huxley's Soma. Fuck weed. Fuck the patriarchy. Sorry, just weed. I don't have a problem with marijuana myself. Of the drugs, it's definitely not the one that's going to fuck you up the worst. I believe in decriminalizing it and letting people use it for their own personal use, and then calling it a day. And don't bother taxing it. Don't regulate it. Just let people grow their own weed plants. Adam Smith, Kamala, I'm speaking. Trump, wrong. TH, Sticks, you glorious bastard. Thank you for the daily dose of white pills. You're the man. Clanking daily from California. Shout out to Gator. That's what I'm talking about. I see twiggy little shit over there. My twiggy little shit. Last beacon, especially with the whole open mic thing concerning Trump in 2016, that was the one where I was absolutely concerned that he was going to lose his last beacon. I think that they will keep the mics muted. ABC has pretty much made it clear they're not going to change the rules last minute. The only thing that Kamala could do is not show up. That's not going to look good. That would be bad. I think that she should just show up and take the jabs, basically. Like, if I was an advisor for Kamala Harris, I'd say, look, you're in a lose-lose situation, but on one hand, you lose less than the other. Show up to the fucking debate. You're going to take your lumps because you're not a good debater, you're not a good public speaker, but then at the very least, you don't look like a complete coward. Redneck Coder, Trump should just do unmuted mics, but not talk over and stay linear on his own. He can't do that. That's the problem. Let Kamala sabotage herself with the rule. Let her ramble. I agree with you. If Trump was more circumspect, he could do that. And she would simply hang herself with her own words. Trump has a tendency to ramble on. That's just the long and short of it. That's the truth. He has his own public speaking issues. Are they as pronounced as Kamala? No, not on the same order of magnitude. Can he potentially get rope-a-doped? Yes. And they must guard him from being rope-a-doped. By the way, I cannot take anything right now. Comio 325, Flaccid 10.2, Erect 17.76. Oh, God. Last beacon, and if they do bounce the debate, it just proves that Kamala is a coward. Yeah, she might do that. That's always possible. Ruron, Sticks, do you think that Razor Fist will also make a Carrie Lake endorsement video as well? I don't know. Maybe. Wasted Bonehead, good morning from the grave. Happy Commie Day. Now we're going to talk about the debate actually at large. This is about Kamala Harris preparing for the debate. And I like how they've got like the fluff picture of her. This is from the Daily Beast. So naturally it's like, well, Kamala Harris is reportedly focusing on ways to rattle Donald Trump as she prepares for their September 10th presidential debate. Harris' team views the optics of her face-off with the former president as crucial, according to sources close to the vice president. I believe that. Of course, optics are crucial during the debate. One of whom told NBC News her campaign wants to remind people of what it was like during Donald Trump's years. Yeah, so low inflation and not starting wars, and the economy was generally generating, and the president was actually coherent. Well, yeah, I mean, you should remind people of that. That would be good for them to know. The problem is that it's just going to be a pile of lies. Basically, we're getting a foreshock of what exactly Kamala Harris is going to do during the debate, assuming that there's a debate at all, of course. She's going to lie the entire time and try to proclaim that everything was upended and terrible under Donald Trump's term, which makes no sense, really, because, I mean, I can't imagine that the average person, okay, so you're trying to win over independent voters. Those are the only ones that matter. Democrats are going to vote for the Democratic candidate. They're already going to vote for you. Republicans are already going to vote for Trump. Well, there's 2/3 of the population. You're only competing for independent voters, people who are undecided. You're not going to be able to con high-info voters into thinking that things have been better off under Biden-Harris as opposed to under Donald Trump. It's just impossible. I don't even understand the strategy. It's just like some of the things that the Kamala Harris candidacy is doing make so little sense. I don't even know what the fuck they're doing. It's completely senseless. Yes, here's how we're going to win over independent voters. We're going to talk about the past while stressing, by the way, strategically that we represent the future. We're going to talk about how Donald Trump supposedly fucked people over, but we're going to not let them know you know, inflation was under control under Trump and there were no new wars and stuff like that. They won't notice. They're fucking stupid. This is what the Kamala Harris campaign is banking on, people being fucking stupid. That's basically the entire goal. I mean, some people are, and there are some low info independent voters, I suppose, but generally speaking, if a person's not a partisan, they tend to be higher info. They tend to be more ideological in approach. But where's your platform? You've only made a couple of actual planks in it. They happen to be borrowed from the Donald Trump campaign. It's inexplicable. I've never seen a thing like it in my entire life. I mean, I've been through a lot of political campaigns, and I've seen a lot of weird shit. I mean, just look at 2016. But I've never seen a candidate punt this much or hide this much. Generally speaking, if your candidate is strong, you trot him out as often as possible. If you've got a JFK, a Dwight Eisenhower, somebody capable of making big impassioned speeches and stuff like that, soaring it like an Obama, you bring him out as much as possible. You'd say, you're not sleeping tonight. You've got a double hitter or something like that. You can sleep when you're dead, basically. With Kamala Harris, it's more like, hey, stick in the White House, go out as little as possible. When you do go out, you have to have a handler, namely Tim Walz. And that's basically the campaign. It's actually strange when you think about it. It's bizarre. It's not surprising, but it's bizarre in form. Let's see. Spike. Fair point with the mics. Emperor Soft Turtle. I bet ABC bitched at Kamala that if she wanted to change the debate rules, she should have done it a month ago. Now it looks too biased. Yeah, I mean, they can't let her change the debate rules. They've already been pre-agreed upon. Lunar Eclipse. Sticks, as a populist libertarian, I want Trump to own his mistakes, fix the jab, reduce deficit and debt. No Kushner in his second term, doesn't fib as much. Yeah, that works for me. I want him to continue the tax relief as well. As a self-employed individual who pays literally over $10,000 in self-employment penalty, yeah, it'd be nice to have that write-off. Continue. That'd be nice. Holton Sneedmeyer. Turkey requested to join BRICS. War between two NATO states is not an impossibility and grows ever more likely if Kamala is elected. Hegemony? Over. Yeah, I know, but I don't think Turkey will be joining BRICS. They'll get reined in because Trump will be reelected. Toxic Mix. What do you think is the best argument against the border bill for debate? The problem I'm finding is if you get into the weeds, it's really bad and full of exploits, but most won't do that. The best way to debate it is to simply point out it gives the current president of the United States effectively unilateral latitude to do whatever the fuck they want, but only in favor of illegal immigrants. If they try to hardline it, that wouldn't be part of the bill. That wouldn't be a power. But if they want to softball it, so they want to overlook the asylum seekers and the policy with regards to border crossing, all of a sudden they're allowed to do so. And that's literally what it does. I mean, it's the bipartisan bill, my ass. I love how they always say it's bipartisan. Yeah, okay, so, you know, Cornine and Romney support it, basically. Wasted, but my far-right extremism. Last Beacon. I also agree with that last super chat with marijuana being Huxley's soma, but that's just me saying, just say no. No, there's nothing wrong with marijuana. No, there's nothing wrong with booze. There's nothing wrong with cigs. Do whatever you got to do, dude. Have a good life. Aid Hog. There once was a girl named Kamala whose buddy can't enter Valhalla. She wants to create a communist state while giving her stuff to Abdullah. I like that one. Last Beacon. Yeah, I got my super chat. Woot. Yeah, no, I refuse to condemn marijuana, having used it in the past. And by the past, I mean, well, never mind. Apache, I'm sick of people complaining about the jab. Trump didn't force it on anyone, but people focused on it and are willing to keep those that did force it in. Yeah, it wasn't Trump's fault. He just, all Trump did was super develop a vaccine for COVID, for the Voldemort disease. We'll refer to it as that on the YouTube live stream. He never forced anyone to take it. Governors forced people to take it. He never did jack shit. He simply helped develop it. And he deserves credit for having done so. If a person wishes to obtain a vaccine, it should be available to them. If they do not wish to take it, then they should not be forced to do so. That was the Biden admin and a bunch of blue state governors that did that, not Donald Trump. And I get so fucking tired of people blaming him for that, by the way. It's fucking retarded. We've got new polling in, by the way. The latest news polls are from ABC and Ipsos, and they show Harris ahead fairly steadily. I would point out that even these outlier polls put her further behind than Hillary Clinton was. So it's not really meaningful. I mean, we can go up here and let's see. Where do we actually... the problem is that Real Clear Polling has remade their format. It's not as good as it was before. Yeah, general election, Trump v. Harris. Harris is currently up by 1.8. Hillary Clinton was up by 4.1. Biden was up by 7.2. So you'll be surprised to know that I'm not exactly impressed by this. This has been a continuous thing, by the way. You have Harris up by a hair's inch, by less than 2 points. People get all black-pilled. Oh my God, Trump can't possibly win. It's like, bitch, Hillary Clinton was up by double that margin. Biden was up by 3 times that margin at the same time in the candidacy. And Clinton lost and Biden supposedly won by like 200,000 votes or something like that. What are you talking about? There is no Harris like Kamala momentum or anything like that. It does not exist. It's just a flashing of polls anyway. We haven't even had the one presidential debate that they're willing to agree to. We're not even sure that that's going to happen. By the way, I'll be in New Orleans in a couple of weeks. Just putting that aside. I love to rant. Emperor Soft Turtle, former Kamala stated that she was a procrastinator, that she would put everything off to the last minute, then get mad when it blows up in her face because she didn't prepare. I'm assuming you mean former Kamala staffer. Possible. Here's the thing. Biden's the one with the problem strategically, less than Kamala. I think that she is ultimately more strategic than him and much more cunning. She's just not a good communicator. She's not good at getting her point across, talking to the public, things like that. So I don't necessarily believe that. No, supposedly it was Biden. Like what Biden would do is like he'd be confronted with a situation. And it's like, you've got to make a choice, you know, Mr. President or Mr. Senator, or whatever it is, X, Y, and Z. And he would basically focus group it. He would do a Hillary Clinton. And he would second guess himself all of the time. Like former staffers and people who have worked with Biden have said, he's very, very bad at making actual decisions because he always wants to make the right decision. So he second guesses himself. He doesn't know which decision necessarily to actually make. And so he's like McClellan. During the Civil War, there was a general who led the Union Army, for example, named McClellan. Some of you probably know this. My grandpa, by the way, could probably make a 10-hour video on the subject, but unfortunately he's dead. And McClellan would draw up into battle, and he'd have every advantage. You've got the high ground, manpower superiority, more cannons, more cavalry. You can rout the enemy. You can fucking destroy them. But he would be trying to do casualty counting and try to solve for attrition. So he would second guess himself and he'd say, well, you know, which of these strategies should I use? I could just charge in and fucking crush the enemy. But, you know, there's these 5 other possible strategies I could use. Meanwhile, the enemy is digging in. They're creating defensive fortifications. This is why he was fired by Abe Lincoln, because he was completely incompetent. Joe Biden appears to be effectively the same way. Last weekend, between him and AIDS and him and the Voldemort disease, he needs to be investigated as well, as the CDC needs a major audit. I do agree with you. Tangers, if you could go on Rich Barrett's show to discuss polls, that would be dynamite. He disagrees with you on some things, and I would like to see you talk. If anyone can get me in a conversation with him on Twitter DM, that'd be fine. I'd do that. That sounds fun. Mikuhuntu, if there's a hidden Trump vote like 1620, it's ogre. Yes, agreed. Nooner Eclipse, Stick, shouldn't Kushner be investigated like Hunter? Dems want their own inquiry into him. By the way, have you heard of the Egypt Gate alleged Trump being bribed? Trump has not been bribed. How are you going to bribe somebody who has several $billion in net assets? It's going to be a little bit difficult. You could blackmail them, then it's going to be hard to bribe them. I love talking about military history. Sometimes I get wasted and I crawl around as though it's World War I. Love USA. Have you seen Venezuelan gangs taking over apartments in Colorado? Yes, in Aurora, which is ironic. You want that to come to your home? If not, vote Trump, because he is the only one who can stop this insane mass illegal immigration. I agree. Last weekend, we need a fundamental new path post-Trump for conservatism. We can't continue this path in the future. I want Rand Paul 2028. Texas GI 47. Would you dare meet with clankers in a meetup in NOLA, or the security concerns too much? I'd be willing to meet up with clankers. Fuck, we'll do a bar crawl or something. We are under a distributed denial of sex attack by the trans union, says Jabberwocky. Interesting. The Grizzly, what do you think about the fallout from Kamala absconding from the debate would be? Should she refuse the terms set by Biden? Do you think that helps her long term, or would it drag her down? She's in a no-win situation. If she debates, she loses. She's not going to be able to step to Trump. That much is clear. I mean, it's fucking obvious. If she does not debate, if she looks like a coward, that is worse. I would advise her, if I were her advisor, to debate. Also, as a content creator, I want to be able to live react to it, so I'm a little bit biased. Funk Master General, day off means I finally get to catch you live. That's what I'm talking about. It's almost 5,000 people watching. But yeah, as far as polling goes, keep in mind, compare the polling that you see right now. Oh, Harris is ahead by 1.5 points. Compare that to 2016 or 2020. It's not even close. It's far behind. The fact that she's, hiccuping. The fact that she's not doing as bad as Biden does not mean that she's doing well. It just means that she's losing by a smaller margin. If you fix for the shift in the poll that tends to happen as a result of missampling, she would lose. And she would lose bigly. She probably wouldn't even win Virginia, which doesn't surprise me, number one. And number two, keep in mind, there's also potentially a presidential debate. We're not exactly sure. Depends whether Kamala Harris is a coward or not. Honestly, I would say, like, let's say that I'm her aide. I'm her staffer. I'm her confidant. I'd say, Miss Kamala, you need to go to the debate. You're not going to win, but at least you showed up. At least you got your point across. You can be as vacuous as you want, but I mean, if you don't show up, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be far worse, 10 times worse. Last weekend. And what I mean by this path I'm taking about foreign interventionism, we had enough of that shit in the 90s and 2000s. Yeah, especially the 2000s. Holy shit. You could not be more right. BW, Turley loves Rich Barrett's. Do you think the debate will happen? I wish independents would see that Kamala is a coward and care about it enough to not vote for her. I don't know whether it's going to happen. That's the whole problem. I want it to happen. Number one, the voters deserve to know from the candidates, what exactly are you going to fucking do? Kamala will be unable to answer that question because she's trying to be vacuous on purpose. And number two, because I'm a content creator, so I want to live react to it. Part of it is strictly self-serving. It's going to make me a lot of money live reacting to the debate. I'm not going to lie. Ethan Monster, Merchan locked Trump for basement campaign. Yeah, Merchan might lock Trump up. That would be another spoiler within the election. I have a feeling that would help him. I don't think it hurt him at all. And then the final news story. Breaking! Vice President Kamala Harris is receiving backlash from the Black Americans, and from everyone else, by the way, for claiming that she washed her collard greens in a bathtub with Tabasco sauce. He misspelled it, tobacco sauce. I can imagine Kamala would probably do that too. The backlash is due to what appears to be not one single Black American being able to relate to this claim. Every Black American that responded to the claim, they witnessed greens washed in the sink, and Kamala is pandering. That was a lot of collard greens if you had to do it in the tub, by the way. Kamala Harris, I am not lying to you that I would make so many greens that I need to wash them in the bathtub. I'm telling you the truth. Black Americans are free to call me out on this post if I am lying. Number one, you've got the pandering to Black people as though they are a hegemon, a monolith. So like, yeah, you must love fried chicken, watermelon, and collard greens. Dude, can you imagine if Trump said something like that? Or if I said something like that? You'd get crucified. It wouldn't make any fucking sense at all. Yeah, I sure love that po' boy fish. I sure am do love that watermelon. You would get crucified for it. In fact, you could get banned from multiple social media platforms for making such an insinuation. Kamala Harris comes out. She's not Black. She's of Indian heritage. She comes out and says, well, I sure do love me some collard greens. Like, yeah, do a little old shuck and jive or something like that. Fucking bitch. That's basically what's going on here. It's a total stereotype, and it's not true. The fact is that Kamala Harris probably has never cooked collards in her entire life. That's the truth of it. I know that I have. Oh, by the way, they are delicious with mozzarella. Oof. Yeah. Oh, damn. Now I made myself hungry. No, collards are great. I love them. I've got a bunch of them in my garden. But I don't clean them out in the bathtub. Even if I pick them all down, that wouldn't make any sense. Why would you do that? It's not sanitary, number one. It makes no sense, number two. And goddamn, how many people are you feeding those fucking collards? You got 20 people over for dinner or something like that? Okay, then we'll give you a hall pass. I think you can use the sink. You just do a double batch. I don't think that you added Tabasco sauce to your collards when you were washing them. Number one, it doesn't make sense. And number two, it's her hot sauce in a handbag moment. It's clearly pandering. It's the same as when Hillary Clinton or Elizabeth Warren tried to be personable. Like Elizabeth Warren, she's like, I want me a beer. And then she randomly on a live stream, she grabs a Rolling Rock. It's like, yeah, I'm sure that's what you drink on a daily basis. Bullshit. No, you're drinking Chardonnay from, Nancy Pelosi's private vineyard. Hillary Clinton, she goes on the Black radio show. Well, I sure am have hot sauce in my handbag. Okay, that's very nice. Why are you saying that specifically at that particular moment in time? Is it because you're a stereotyping, bigoted piece of shit bitch? Or is it because you're being genuine? I think it's probably the former. The same is true of Kamala Harris. She does not wash her collards in Tabasco sauce. I was watching this, and I'm like, it's surreal. It doesn't even make any goddamn sense. It's fucking crazy. We'd all know that she's a little bit on the loopy side, but strategically speaking, for political purposes, you'd think that one of her handlers would have told her that's not a good idea to say. You shouldn't piss off the Gold Star families, and you shouldn't talk about collard greens. What could be more stereotypical? It's like, Kamala Harris is going to come out tomorrow, and she's going to do a shuck and jive, like the sand dance or something like that. And she'd say, oh, sure am, mammy. I sure do love that watermelon. This is Kamala Harris in a nutshell. She's willing to literally just put on a performance in order to get elected. Nothing else matters to her. She only wants money and power. She doesn't give a fuck about Black Americans, white Americans, or any other form of Americans. She doesn't give a fuck about anyone. She'd probably bomb half of the world if she's elected. The Sumerian, oh, sticks you, capitalist you. Absolutely. BW, did you see the Dems pissed off the reparations crowd in Cali? They punted 2 bills to set up an agency and lineage for cash handouts. Hope this costs them. I hope that anything costs them at this point. Unelectably retarded. Again, I mean, look at what Kamala Harris is saying. Listen to the clip. Link in the description. I mean, take the fucking link. It's stereotyping bullshit. It's like a mammy dance sort of thing. Little Black Sambo or something like that. Oh, I sure am love my loan, jockey. Mama, you made such good fried chicken. That's basically what she's devolved into. And she's of Indian origin. But to the Democrats, you know, if you're BIPOC, it doesn't really matter. A person from Ghana is the same as a person from Indonesia. Everyone's the same, unless they happen to be a white straight male, of course. By the way, please send no more super chats. I'm going to go off a little bit early today. Last beacon, I should also mean the 2010s, because we still have fixed a lot of stuff from Benghazi, Libya, and we're still fucking around with Ukraine trying to get Edward Snowden. Texas GI47, if you wash your greens in the bathtub, you ain't black. Hashtag Kamala. Yeah, I know. It's like, that doesn't make any sense, really. I love collard greens. I'm not going to wash them in the goddamn bathtub. No matter how many I have, I'm going to wash them in the fucking sink. Twiggy little shit. Get fried chicken at the Brothers gas station on Terry Parkway when you're there. Abso-fucking-lutely. Anywhere you wish to take me, darling. Wasted bonehead. I personally store all my food in a vat of Tabasco sauce. Fuck the mayo monkeys. I don't know why that's so funny. This is Mike. Clank, motherfuckers. Harris may be stealing policies because they are normie subjects. Tips, building the wall and such. We'll get independent voters that want his moderate policies without his personality. I think that is part of the goal. I also think it will not work. Last beacon, screw Tabasco sauce. No, don't screw Tabasco sauce. Don't you fuck with my Tabasco. Give me some super hot sauce, like really, really hot, like Carolina Reaper hot. Okay, it depends on what you're cooking. Like I made chili the other day, and unfortunately, I didn't have enough hot sauce on hand. We had to use Taco Bell sauce, actually, for it. Didn't come out bad in the end. It just didn't come out terribly great. It was a little bit on the unfortunate side. I wish I had some of that hot salt. I think I put it in my bag. And I want some more spice at the rental property. Yes, Cholula is better than Tabasco, but there is no problem with Tabasco sauce. I want what they said right now in my mouth. That's hot. The Slot Prince. I'm a chomo. Lol. I don't know what chomo means. Yeah. The Tabasco and MREs, that's a good thing. Oh, somebody's mentioning the one chip challenge. Yeah, I've got several of them from my sister. I am not going to be taking the one chip challenge right now. That sounds like a bad idea. You know, because then I wouldn't be able to actually speak. Oh, let's see here. Oh, we ran out of news. How sad. Then I have to do a news crawl. And then remember, at 1 p.m., I'm live with the Quartering on his channel. That'll be fun. I really like co-hosting with the Quartering because he's good conversation. Like, he'll just, like, prompt me, and then he'll get interested in what I'm saying, or I'll prompt him, and we can just sort of bant. And it's really chillaxed, so to speak. I really like being his co-host. Some people have a problem with him. I don't fucking understand it. He's a nice dude. Also, I think he does a lot of outdoorsy stuff. He lives in Wisconsin, if I remember correctly. He has a bunch of land and stuff like that. But then he was talking about gardening and his problems with that. And I'm like, dude, I'll set you up. Don't worry. Jefferson, he would rip off his underwear and run. That sounds like Tim Walz. Or maybe Mitt Romney. Or me this evening, actually. Maybe I'll go streaking or something. But yeah, when I get down to New Orleans, definitely, if there are any Louisiana clankers, I'm totally amenable to, have a dinner or something like that. That'll be fun. Got to bring my entire rig. It's going to be a little bit difficult. What religion Elon wants to practice is fine. Just no censorship on the internet and no beheading. Yeah, as long as we can avoid the beheading, people should be able to worship the way that they want. Last Beacon says, last Rumble rant, ping us over and over again. I'm going to put you in a chair, strap you down, hold your eyes open, and then force you to watch YouTube poops until you stop ping-using. Balls for Kamala, free vasectomies for childless liberal men between 18 and 40. Well, I mean, just show liberal men footage of Kamala. Their balls will shrivel up immediately. They'll be so emasculated that they won't be able to get it up anyway. So at least for a period of time, they won't be able to impregnate anyone. I'm actually surprised at how liberals exist when you think about it. Because liberal women tend to be cold like glaciers, and liberal men tend to be like low T small dicks. So how do they reproduce? I don't know. You don't need to be a conservative to have a good cock that actually works or anything like that. You can be classical liberal like me. But yeah, I mean, if you're drinking Soylent all day and, you're next to the 5G network, so to speak, eventually you're going to have a little bit of trouble. I assure you, there is no problem down below with getting it up. What's really fun is to hold off for several hours and deliberately not come. Birds don't have dicks. Yeah, no, I know. Birds actually, they have what's called a vent. And so like the male birds have like a nub or something like that, if I remember correctly. But it's kind of sort of like also their asshole. And it's just really kind of weird when you think about it. Webster's Wares, friendly reminder, 25% off site-wide today using code CLANKLABOR at www.websterswares.com. Yeah, it's like with Greek mythology. Zeus could take the form of a goose, if I remember correctly, or something like that, a bird. And he would fuck things. And Greek mythology basically boils down to Zeus fucked something he's not supposed to fuck. Monsters were therefore born. That's literally half of Greek mythology. It's not even a meme. It's basically Zeus fucking things or occasionally raping people, which is less fortunate. And then monsters come out, basically. Texas GI 47 Sticks said no more super chats, but I have to ask, does Mrs. Sticks keep you from becoming TMZ content when you meet with clankers? I can do whatever I want. Webster's Wares, ducks have corkscrew dicks. They do? I was unaware of corkscrew cock. This sounds like something that I would draw, actually. Solid number 5. I don't really like Quartering's videos because he puts a massive spin on all his takes that are on par with MSM. He's a good dude, don't get me wrong. No, I don't think that he spins things MSM style. Sometimes I disagree with him. As co-hosts, sometimes we disagree with one another. But he's a good dude. Overall, he's a nice guy, and he's a family man and stuff like that. Orwell's goon, remember, Sobiek's maxim. If the situation was hopeless, the propaganda would be unnecessary. This follows with omissions of facts and all the Krassenberg-Weinstein gaslighting. Exactly. Jefferson 33, Sticks is a lunatic. Yes, absolutely. If you were here for my content back in the early 2010s, you would know that I'm not exactly normal, nor am I trying to be. I say fuck, shit, piss, cunt, and everything else under the sun. I encourage people to improve themselves, but beyond that, it's just a straight political analysis with a little bit of edge to it. Last Beacon, bring it on. I've had 15 to nearly 17 years of YouTube poops in my head. I'm going to tie you down like Old Yeller. No, America for All. Jeremy seems nice, but is boring. No, he's not boring. He's actually very intellectual. You got to realize, I get to talk to him off camera too. He's very intelligent. He's really, really nice. Very understanding of my bizarre work situation. You got to understand that I've gravitated between two continents for the last half decade. And not everyone would be willing to do that. I'm glad to be part of his show. Can't wait to go live with him, actually, in what is it, an hour? What fucking time is it? Oh, shit, I've got to go offline. Yeah, it's about 45 minutes, actually. Shit, I've probably got to get the link. So, yeah, I'm going to go offline. I thank you to the 5,000 people that tuned in live. I will be live again tomorrow. Keep in mind at 1 p.m., that's 45 minutes from now, 1 p.m. Eastern, I will be live with the Quartering, and we will talk about the news and things like that, assuming he gets the link to me. Sometimes he doesn't do that, and I get bounced to Friday. Oh, shit, I've got, goddamn, not a banned account. Trump needs to legalize mushrooms next. Agreed. Absolutely. Lol, not a cat. Jeremy will sensationalize for content, but will also 100% admit to it. That's why it doesn't bother me so much when he doesn't. Yeah, of course. We're infotainers. I mean, we've got to sensationalize a little bit. Otherwise, we're just fucking boring. I don't want to be fucking boring. No, I just, I want to do drugs and shit like that. Just saying. That's about all. Peace out.